Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Mantra After Hours podcast. If you missed episode 1, be sure to go back and watch episode 1 because today we are continuing the conversation about how to land your dream job in marketing. If you don't know me, I'm Praline, the founder and managing director of Mantra Publicity, and we're talking everything marketing for students, graduates, newcomers, and people that are looking to get into the marketing industry. Today, I'm back with Pamela Mubuza, who is currently interning at Mantra Publicity. And today we're going to be talking about the intern reality. So after you've landed your job at an internal company, at an agency, what does this currently look like? And Pamela is going to be talking to us today about her first-hand experience. Welcome.
Hi, Pri. Thank you so much for having me.
Nice to have you back. Okay, so let's get into it, right? My first question to you is, why did you want to work in marketing?
So to be honest, Pri, I never wanted to work in marketing. I literally was a journalism person. I wanted to be in radio. I wanted to, news and everything of that sort. But the reality of journalism is not exactly what we see. So because I knew that I was creative, that's when I decided, you know what? PR and communication it is. And I knew it had to do with marketing somehow. And that's how I moved over. That's how
So we share that in common because I have the exact same story. I did start off in journalism and I did also work in mainstream radio, and it's actually very tough and it's long hours. So just like marketing, it's not for everybody, but I do think that streamlining it back into marketing, you're still able to really enjoy your passions and make it work for you.
Yes.
While not being a mainstream journalist, writer, broadcaster, that sort of thing.
I think I also didn't like the whole part of I have to write and I have to, no. I was just like, you know what, I can do this thing, but I just don't want to because at the end of the day, I wanted to do something that I love. So that's why I went to marketing.
Yeah, and it's a different kind of writing. I think in journalism, it's very mundane. I think I suffered with that a lot because we were doing mainstream news. So every day it was a different kidnap or robbery or murder. And that's not necessarily the stuff that I wanted to write about. Whereas now in marketing and at Mantra, we write about a lot of fun things that we enjoy writing about. Okay, so how did you land your first internship or your very first role in marketing?
Oh, not in Mantra.
Well, I mean, at Mantra, we can speak about Mantra, but I want to really go back to like where you started.
As I've mentioned in our first episode, that I went to a specific agency and I told them, I basically sold myself to them, and I told them I would love to work here. And that's how I landed. And bear in mind, again, I was never paid. I literally was there for 6 months, full 6 months, and I was never paid. And today I'm here because why? I also took the initiative myself and I was like, I am going to do this. I literally emailed Mantra and told Mantra, you know what? I would like to work with you because 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm here today.
And that's a remarkable story. I don't know many people who have actually done that, who've walked into an agency and been like, I just give me a table and a desk and I just want to sit here and work and get experience. Exactly.
Because why? People always, I know sales economy is tough, guys. Like I know we all want multiple streams of income. We all want income in general. But how am I going to give you income if you don't have experience? So I need you to have something for me to give you something, so I cannot just give you a salary if you don't have experience. I know it sounds ridiculous, but in marketing, for you to get experience, I feel like that's what you need to do. You need to get there, show them you're serious, show them you want this. Yeah, that's what I did.
And it's called zeal. Our tagline is zealous application of brand awareness, and it's called zeal. And that is a very key character trait to have. And that's why you're a great fit for Mantra.
Thank you.
So what were your expectations versus the reality for you?
To be honest, I never knew that in marketing you don't sleep. I need to be honest. Like, I never, not that you don't sleep. Let me not say.
Yeah, let's not scare everybody away.
Yes. Not that you don't sleep, but you work extra hours to put in the effort to show that, okay, I love this. I'm doing this because it's in me. Like, if, to be honest, I look at a post that I'm creating and I go like, no, I don't like it. So you just need to love it.
Yeah, 100%. Because it's part creative and it's part just doing the work. And it is a very, it requires a lot of yourself, right? It requires a lot of passion. It requires a lot of critical thinking.
Yes.
And it just is so fast paced.
Yes.
So a 9 to 5 just simply doesn't work. I mean, for the most days we do have a 9 to 5, but I mean, some days also we're grinding after hours on the weekends, and that's just what it takes. But it does have its benefits, and it is a fun industry to work in, but you've got to want it. And it really is about how much you want it. It can't be for somebody who wants to leave at 5 and go home and cook dinner with their husband and sit on the couch and never open their laptop outside of the office, because you're just not going to succeed. It is a very, I wouldn't say demanding career. I just say it is something that requires who you are and not a boss driving it for you kind of thing.
Because you can't just be a normal person. If I have to put it like that. You can't just be a normal person when in marketing. You need to put in the extra hours.
Zeal. Have zeal. Okay, so how did you feel in your first week? So let's go to Mantra now. How did you feel in your first week at Mantra Publicity?
To be honest, I was okay. I was willing to work. I even told my boss that I'm sitting with right here that I need you to give me work. Like, give me work.
And now you have an abundance of work.
And I'm like, ooh. So my first week wasn't as hectic. My first week was very chilled. You were very supportive. You still are. You literally give us a platform to show our skills, show our creativity and all these things. You make sure that you're there for us. So my first week wasn't hectic. My first week was just smooth. It was a nice ride. And I was able to understand everything fast, quick, in a hurry.
And what would you say was your biggest learning curve? Missing your deadlines and me having to send long Trello messages.
Okay, my biggest learning curve is to have proper time management. Guys, having proper time management is very important. Literally.
It's also difficult. It's a skill that's learned over time. Yeah.
But it's very important. I mean, my boss.
Me.
My boss. My boss literally, I think when it comes to this, people should take certain things like maybe being reprimanded, should take it as constructive criticism. Because at the end of the day, for example, when you wrote me, when you were reprimanding me, I mean, I was like, I really need to get myself together. I really need to think, how am I going to try and do this fast, quick, in a hurry? I mean, it's not that I'm not trying, I am, but it takes time to have proper time management. It takes time, but eventually you need to get there somehow and quicker, because as we said, marketing is a fast pace. So you literally
have to keep up or get out kind of
thing.
Yes. And you have to be open to learning, like you said. I mean, no boss likes to reprimand and crack the whip. I mean, I would really much rather not do it, because it's not nice for anybody, but it has to be done, because at the end of the day, it is so fast paced and we have to keep up with it. I am also very strict about deadlines. And that's because it's been embedded in me since the beginning of my career. And it's also the reason of success. You you can only be successful if you are strict with yourself and you do manage your deadline. So I do think, like, with the topic of this podcast and students and newcomers coming into the industry, they have to really also understand that marketing is a very deadline driven industry.
Definitely.
Probably one of the top 5 most deadline driven careers in the world. Very, very stressful. But once you've mastered it, you really take a big load off your plate because you're able to self-motivate and self-discipline, which is a skill that's attained over time.
Yes.
And I think you're getting better with it. I mean, I don't think I'd be a good enough boss to you if I didn't crack the whip and tell you, Pam.
Do it. I don't like this.
Because 5 years from now, you're going to be an expert, and the next boss you have is going to be like, oh my goodness, you're an asset to my company and I can never lose you, kind of thing.
Yes. And I really take it as constructive criticism. Whatever that you say to me in terms of maybe reprimanding or telling me time management, I take it, I'm learning that, okay, not only am I learning to be quick, but I'm learning that, no, maybe my next boss shouldn't like feel the way I made you feel, which I hate. I really hate. I tell you
the job though.
Yes, I tell you all the time.
Being a boss is not easy. They should also have bosses school, if I'm honest.
That is so true. But yeah.
Okay, Pam. So what would you say has been the hardest part of your internship thus far?
I think it's still time management.
Mm-hmm.
I think definitely still that. As I said, of course, I'm working on it. And when I think I am getting better, I feel like I'm going back to square one. But I need to be honest that you try. And to be honest, you try until you're able to get it. That's what you do. But yeah, it's very hard if you're still trying to build that skill. Yeah. And like you said, it's a very fast-paced industry. So you need to try and be quick.
Yes, 100%. So that is an indication for like graduates and students that will come across this episode that marketing is for a fast worker. It's for a diligent worker.
You can't be just overthinking. I used to be an overthinker, you know this.
Yes.
I would literally, you learn to move away from overthinking. That's what I learned. You learn to move away from overthinking. You literally get to understand that time management is very important. You get to understand that everything needs to be done today and now.
Yeah. Everything is urgent and everything needs to be done now. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you handle feedback or mistakes? So we've gone through this, right? You kind of look at it as constructive criticism.
Definitely.
But for like a newcomer or a student who maybe hasn't gotten very harsh feedback or been reprimanded, how would you say, or what are some of the advice you would give them to handle it better? Because sometimes it breaks you. I mean, we've been through the story of how I had my editor threw pages in my face. But I mean, I took it as constructive criticism and it's made me stronger for who I am. But these days it is very different. And I would think just the world in general is a lot more sensitive. So any advice for people to take reprimanding in a constructive way?
To be honest, I've always been the person who takes things in a constructive criticism way. But I understand that there are people who are not like me. There are people who do not understand, who haven't been in a work environment, and they would love to get advice. But I just think don't take it personal. Understand that this is at work. They want you basically, if they give you, they're reprimanding you or something, take it as, okay, I'm learning. Don't take it as, my boss is so mean, my boss is so rude. No. Just take it as, I'm learning. This is feedback that I will learn from so that I don't do it again. Yeah, I think that's how I can advise one, because to be honest, I've been a person who always I don't take it to heart. I don't take it personal. I literally just focus on my work, take that and implement it elsewhere. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I think not taking it personally is definitely a big thing. I do think it is about the way it is delivered. You obviously cannot be telling people they're stupid or you're an idiot or being condescending in the way you are giving feedback or reprimanding people. But I think even if it is, because I do know that there are, I mean, not everybody's like us and some people are pretty harsh.
Yes.
It really is up to you to decipher, am I going to let this break me or am I going to make this something that's going to make me stronger?
Yes. Because also I need people who are just starting to work to understand the difference between maybe bullying of like there's a difference between constructive criticism and bullying. So I need people to understand the two. That's where the harsh comes in. Sometimes it's not even about that a person is just harsh. Sometimes it's about that person low-key bullying you. That's how that's how you need to understand how the difference between the two. Yeah. I feel like,
and I mean, obviously toxic work environments, if you are a person who is, that definitely shouldn't be for any newcomer. I think it's quite difficult to digest if that's like your first job and you're being bullied, then it's obviously not a space for you. But I think some bosses or managers or whatever, whoever might be your senior, isn't necessarily always skilled with the best language. They're human too, so long as it doesn't go across on to be being abusive or bullying. But it's about understanding that they also have their deadlines and they also are responsible to their boss or to their client, and by you not doing your job affects on them and and so it has a ripple effect. So everything gets frustrated. So it's about, like you said, not taking it personally, making it work for you, and putting your best foot forward as much as possible. Okay, and then one moment that made you feel proud and confident.
So, well, at Mantra, that's, when one of my clients literally had the best feedback, gave me the best feedback, and was very happy with the content that I gave her, that made me confident that I can do this. It gave me so much happiness and joy that, okay, girl, you shouldn't think here. Think also out of the box and further. Like, don't just think here and think you are able to do it here. Think outside, and try to find inspos and all these things. Like, look at a post, maybe, for example, looking at a post for a specific brand, look at that post in a different way. Like, don't look at it as I'm just looking at it. Look at it in a different way and how you can incorporate it in whatever that you're doing. So when she gave me that feedback, when she was just so happy about it, that made me understand and gave me the confidence that actually you can do it. You can do it. You're not stupid.
It's not beyond you.
Yes. You can do it. Literally.
Yeah. And I mean, I was there for that moment, and it was really great because, I mean, marketing in general, I think, is a very intentional service. The kind of stuff that we tell those stories of our brands and our clients, right? So it has to be a very intentional service. And
Definitely.
I think when you're putting intention behind your work, the clients can see it.
Yes.
So that was number one. I mean, I could definitely feel that you put intention behind your work and the client picked it up, and she really did come back with amazing feedback. And the second part of that is that I would also like if you are a manager watching this podcast, or if you are somebody who leads in your respective field, it is good to give ownership to those below you. And I see this all the time. I think managers or bosses always take the feedback for themselves and they own it. But I think in that moment, it's important for me to give that to you and you own that, because it was your work and it's become now your proudest moment at Mantra. And it's also given you the confidence to know that you can do bigger and better. And since then, you have gone on to do bigger and better. So owning it and owning that moment is very important.
Yeah, even when you are the one giving me feedback, like good feedback, and you telling me like, it's very nice, I love this content and whatever. It shows, like, it gives me that confidence. Actually, you can do this. Even when I'm asking you to maybe give me guidance on something, when you say, oh, everything is good, that gives me the confidence that actually you can do it. You can. You're just sleeping on yourself.
Yes. Yeah, and if you're gonna be lazy and you're just gonna tick the box,
like, oh, I've
good
done
luck.
it. Yeah.
So the takeaway here from this little segment that we did is it's okay to not know, and it's okay to not, and it's not okay to not try. So it's okay if you don't know.
Yes.
But it's not okay to not try.
Definitely.
So I think with you, and even with you now in this role at Mantra, one thing is for sure, whether you know or you don't know, you're going to try.
Yes.
And when you try, you actually end up figuring it out, right?
True.
And then you've learned in your own way, because everybody learns differently, right?
Definitely. And I feel like, to add on that, I feel like don't ask all the time. Try until you fail, then ask.
Okay, Pam, what should students stop doing when trying to get into marketing?
It depends who you are.
Yeah.
Like you said, being creative is not for everybody, and marketing is not for everybody. And you can think you're creative, but to be honest, does the brand maybe you're working for, do they really like your content?
I think if you are serious about being in marketing, you should start off with user-generated content.
Definitely.
And we've seen a lot of creators do that these days, right? They have user-generated accounts where they actually use it as their portfolio to showcase the kind of content that they're able to produce for brands. And that is great. But I do find that when you are, say, an influencer who has like 10,000 followers or something. I mean, we love our influencer creators industry, but I don't necessarily think that translates into mainstream marketing and having the work ethic that marketing requires. Because content creation and influencing still very much is a very fluid industry, and it isn't regulated as where marketing is very regulated. So to cross over sometimes is very difficult. So I think, like I said, if you are serious about marketing, be serious about marketing. If you're serious about being an influencer or content creator, be serious about that. But whatever you do, be serious about it. Okay, what should they start doing right now? So if an influencer, now it's January 2026, we're planning our year, we're asking serious questions about where we're going in life. What would be your advice for them to start doing this year?
If you're a graduate, or
if you're a graduate, maybe if you're studying.
I think if you're either studying or graduate, guys, it's always important to have experience in marketing. Very important. I feel like as much as you can have that degree or diploma or any short course qualification, have experience. Experience is very important. Like, I cannot explain, I don't know how to explain this any further. Like, experience is very important. And I know one person who I used to work with. She doesn't have anything on hand. She only got a short course. But you know what? She works at a bigger company now. Because why? Of the experience. So there's no any other way to say it, to sugarcoat it. Just have experience.
Whether you're job shadowing, whether you're walking into agencies and saying, I'm going to work for free, please just get me the experience, whether you're volunteering at events, whether you're, I don't know, networking, meeting people, getting in somehow, doing anything you can, experience takes you a long way.
Definitely.
And I mean, for me personally as well, even when hiring people, a degree is really great. It shows work ethic, it shows character, it shows that you have been disciplined at some point in your life. But experience does play a big role when it comes to marketing.
And also, to add on that, I also did promotion. So I think that also helps in a way, because you are able to show maybe whoever is interviewing you that, okay, she has a little bit of experience when it comes to brands and stuff. So it shows, really shows. So
understanding the brand, understanding, because also client service is something you've got to learn, right?
Definitely.
You've got to learn how to show up for a brand or show up for your client and represent that brand and live and breathe that brand.
Yes,
right?
because also if you're doing brand activations.
Okay, so Pam, what is like one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self?
Not everybody's the same. You are on your own lane. go with your lane.
Do not compare yourself to
Yes,
others. Everybody
definitely.
has their own journey. I think that's very important. That's very important. And that doesn't only apply to marketing. It's actually a life lesson.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's your own lane. Go with your lane.
Yeah. And just be serious about everything that you do.
Yes, be intentional.
Yeah.
Because if you show that you're intentional, that I want this, everything just comes in a flow.
When you put that out is what you get back.
Definitely.
Yeah, I do agree. Okay, and what does your dream career look like? This is interesting.
I want my dream career. To be honest, I really want to grow. I don't want to be where I am only now for a very long time. Even if I move over to another company, I want to grow. I want to see myself as this person who worked so hard to get to where I am. When they say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 5 years, I want to see myself in a higher position. I want to see myself in a position where even the boss that I'm working for, she is happy. I want to hear them say, oh wow, we are happy with you. Literally. That's I think that's how I can put my dream career. Like, I want to hear that I'm good. I'm literally
making an impact.
Yes, literally.
Okay. All right. Well, that's great insights. Thank you for being with us on episode 2 of Mantra After Hours, Pam. I hope that was very insightful for all you guys watching. If there's one thing that I want you to take away from this episode, it is that there is no perfect way to get into marketing. What matters is showing up, being serious and curious about what it is that you want to do, being willing to learn even when it feels uncomfortable. And everyone you admire in this industry started somewhere, usually unsure, underqualified, and figuring it out as they went. And you can do it too. So thank you so much for joining us for episode 2 of Mantra After Hours. Thank you for listening. Remember to come back in 2 weeks' time for our next episode. We will be discussing a brand new topic. And until then, I will see you guys in our next episode.